Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is Christmas Eve 2024. We're in a bull market right now when it comes to the TCG Pokemon cards right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. This year, there's been a lot of like ups, downs, cards with big gains, and they give them all back. But we had that alt art boom like around tax season. We've had like 151 pop off recently. So I just want to kind of go over the cards that have had some pretty good gains. I want to highlight a bunch of alt arts and illustration rares and stuff like that. Show you this is like singles. I don't want to do any sealed product right now. This is singles. You literally can make big gains. You can make big money investing and collecting singles. It's a little more volatile of a market than sealed stuff, especially over time. Like the sealed stuff, things that are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, it'll just keep going up in price. It really never goes down. But you can have cards like that could all of a sudden hit $200 and then they come back down to like 150 and just sit there for months and months and months, especially vintage stuff. We don't know how the alt arts are going to perform in the future, but they're performing very well right now. So let's start with I'm going to go back to we'll go back to Chilling Reign. Check out the Blaziken. On January 1st, it was sitting at $164.68, and now it's sitting around $290.15 with recent gains. So it's gained $125.47, or about 76%. 76% gain on is pretty good. Take that same money, your $164.68, and put that in a 12-month CD. You're getting a 4% gain, a 4% on a 12 month. I think if you're lucky, put that in crypto, you probably would have had some pretty good gains recently. The crypto's gone up, but I don't know too much about that. I can't speak on that much stuff. I just hear what people are saying, that the crypto market's actually going a little bit crazy too. I'm not sure. They're trying to say hand in hand, crypto and the hobby stuff going up in price at the same time. Alternative investing kind of stuff is, it's almost like when the stock market's up, gold is down. When gold is up, the stock market's down. It's weird, how things like that happen. Tangible products in your hand react to the stock market, in certain kind of ways, certain different kind of things. But the Pokemon market in the last year, some items have outperformed the stock market, some items have not. All right, let's move on to the Moonbreon right now. On January 1st, I was planning on buying this in that $500 to $600 range. January 1st, it was sitting at $538.84. And I was like, that's very expensive, but maybe one day I'll grab it, because I didn't expect it to climb like it did. It's now currently sitting at $139.24, or an $810.40 gain. $800 gain. It's out of my price range now. Now I'm going to have to get in a different language. But that's 138% gain on the Moonbreon right there. Unreal. That's nuts. All right, from Evolving Skies to the Rayquaza VMAX on January 1st, sitting at $238.81. Now it's currently at $519.19, a $280.80 gain, or about 118% gain, percentage gain. That's nuts. The Leafeon VMAX, January 1st, sitting at $159.79. Now $307.04, $147.25 gain, or 92%. 92%. You're not getting that at any bank right now. Right now, ever. You're never getting that at a bank. You have to hit a pretty good stock on its low before it just does some massive gains to even get close to something like that. 92%. Unreal. And that ain't even like the biggest gainers this year. The Moonbreon at 138, that's big, but there's stuff that's way bigger. Stuff that was cheaper that you could have picked up 10, 20, 30, 100 copies if you wanted and just seen some massive gains. But anyway, so the Glaceon VMAX from Evolving Skies as well was sitting at $150.05 on January 1st. Now it's sitting at $263.92, which is $113.87 more, or a 76% gain. 76%, not bad. That's not a bad gain. Sylveon VMAX, very popular card, Pokemon Sylveon. On January 1st was sitting at $133.97, then I was at $239.48, or about $105.51 gain, 79%. It's up 79% on the year. Crazy, right? Umbreon V, my favorite card from Evolving Skies. This one was sitting at $87.51. Now it's currently sitting at $191.78, or about $104.27 gain, which is 119% profit. Not quite as much as its big dad Moonbreon, but close. I paid $73.99 for this on February 2nd of 2024. So my gain was a little bit bigger because I got this card for a steal. My gain was closer to 159% gain. Very nice on that. So we move on to the Dragonite V. January 1st, sitting at $93.20. Now it's at $172.11. That's up $78.91, or 85%. 85% on the Dragonite. Nice little card there. The Rayquaza V, another one of my favorites. I like this one better than the VMAX. Don't ask me why. The VMAX is cool, but something about this one. I like the one from Lost Origin too. The VMAX from Lost Origin better than the Evolving Skies Rayquaza VMAX, but preference, you know what I mean? All right, so the Rayquaza V was sitting at $75.99 on January 1st. It's now currently sitting at $126.24. So it's gone up $50.25, or 66%. I paid $68.51 for this card on March 2nd. So I've seen an 84% gain on that card, because I picked it up for another one I picked up for a steal, very, very cheap. All right, let's move on to Fusion Strike. We got the Gengar VMAX. This one recently has gone nuts, but on January 1st, it was sitting at $213.93. Now it's sitting at $511.80. So it's gone up $297.87, almost $300. So it's up 139%. So it's beating the Moonbreon by 1% right now. All right, from the same set, Fusion Strike, we have the Espeon VMAX. On January 1st was sitting about $119.50. Now it's sitting at $234.30. So it's gone up $114.80, or 96% gain. So almost 100% gain on the Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike. All right, and then the last one I want to look at from Fusion Strike is the Mew VMAX. On this one, like had a dip in January. So on February 1st, it was sitting at about $57.32. Now it's at $100.95, up $43.63 since February. And so that's up 76%. So I paid $69 for this one on April 11th of 2024. So I've seen only a 46% gain. This right here, one of my favorite artists. I have my top two favorite artists are Shinji Kanda, #1, and then Akira Igawa, #2. And this is one of the Akira Igawa alt arts. Akira Igawa stuff does good. If you're into the artists, and you have your favorite artists, you know, this is this guy's Akira. I don't know if that's a guy or girl. One of the best ones. Very good artwork. There's going to be a few more of this person's artwork on this list. Okay, moving on to Brilliant Stars, the Charizard V. On this one got like a boost around Christmas time. Charizards always do. So Christmas of 2023, but it continued to dip until about January 23rd. It dipped down to 114.24. I don't think this card's ever been below about that 114 mark right there. I think it's probably the lowest it's ever been, because when it first came out, it was pretty high. But it was sitting at 114.24. Now it's currently at 186.97, or up $72.73 on the year. 64% gain. I paid $115.24 on December 31st of last year. So I got it right before the new year. So my gain is about 62% on that card. All right, moving on to Astral Radiance. We have the Machamp on January 1st was sitting at about $83.62. Now it's at $126.12. That's up $42.50, or a 51% gain. So one of the smaller gainers, but I just wanted to at least put one Astral Radiance card on this list, and that's the big guy from Astral Radiance. All right, so moving on to Lost Origin, my favorite card of the whole. Well, it's actually probably one of my favorite cards ever made. Doesn't even matter what era, but this is the Gutina V. On January 1st was sitting at $239.50. Now it's sitting at $502.29. So that's gone up $262.79, or 110% up on the year. So I recently picked this up. I had a video showing you I got it from eBay authentication. It came in a nice packaging. Paid $320 on November 5th. So I'm up 57% on this one. Again, this is Shinji Kanda. I believe this is the first Shinji Kanda artwork. There's been more since on like commons, uncommons, and you know, but this was like, Shinji Kanda came in with a bang. Shinji Kanda was one of those artists that kept trying so hard to get on with Pokemon and submitted so many artworks and kept getting denied because artwork, Shinji Kanda has a very interesting style of artwork. It's so like abstract, it's so like crazy, it's just all over the place, but it's actually very beautiful artworks. I suggest just look up Shinji Kanda and go check out, because not just a Pokemon artwork, but there's artwork outside of Pokemon that Shinji Kanda has done, and it's amazing. But this Giratina right here is probably, like I said, one of my best favorite cards ever. Shinji Kanda is one of the top artists, if not the top artist right now in Pokemon, and yeah, that card is up 110% on the year. Not bad. You could have got it for $240 in January. Now you're gonna have to pay closer to $500, maybe $450 if you're lucky. Beautiful card. All right, moving on to the Silver Tempest Lugia V. On January 16th. It did a little dip from January 1st to the 16th, but that hit a low of 114.24. Same as the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars, right? Crazy. But now it's sitting at 224.08. So it's up $109.84 or 96% on the year. I paid $130 for this card on April 2nd of 2024. So I'm up 72% on that card from when I got it in April. This was, you know, tax season, right before it started climbing in the alt art boom. All right, now we're moving on to Crown Zenith, one of the best sets that has ever been made. Prismatic Evolutions is going to be, probably those two are going to be compared to each other later on. But we're at the Gold Giratina on January 16th. It did a little drop from the 1st to the 16th. It was sitting at $74.37. Now it just had a big spike, a big boom, up to $161.86, or it's up $87.49 on the year, which is a 118% gain. I paid $81.02 on September 3rd, so of 2023. So I've had it for quite a while. And so I have about 100% gain on that, and mine's in a PSA 9. Might add a little tiny bit of a premium. Sometimes 9s do, sometimes they don't. But this is another Akira Igawa artwork, just like the Mew VMAX from Fusion Strike, same artist, Akira Igawa. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just love that person's artwork. Not quite as abstracty as Shinji Kanda's, but definitely has like a nice different kind of style, especially when you start getting into the Scarlet and Violet cards that Akira Igawa has done. All right, we are moving on to the Mewtwo from Crown Zenith, and on January 1st, this was sitting at $46.11. Now it's at $87.10, which is up $41.38 or 90% gain on the year. I paid $56.99 for this one in August of last year. So my gain's about 54% on since I picked it up. So not quite as much as, you know, because it did dip after I picked it up. It dipped a little bit. Okay, so we're done with the Sword and Shield era. I don't want to look at anything from Scarlet and Violet base. You know, the Gardevoir is doing a little numbers right now in the Miriam. Talked about that the other day, the Miriam. But we'll go on to the second set, Paldea Evolved. We got to talk about Shinji Kanda's Magikarp right here. On this one, seen a little dip all the way until about February 6th is probably where its low was at 63.05. If you picked it up in February 6th, around that time, you would have got the card for, you know, just a little over 60 bucks. Now it's sitting at $202.96 or $139.91 gain, which is about 222% profit. So this blew away anything else. The Magikarp, if you were to go and pick up back then, maybe 10 of these at, you know, $600, you'd be sitting at about with a $1,300 gain on 10 of them. You know what I mean? So that's like an investing thought about that. Pick up a bunch of undervalued cards and just sit for a minute. I paid $71.50 for it on April 2nd of 2024. So my gain is only 184%, but still my gain is outperforming the Moonbreon if you got it on its low. And that's Shinji Kanda, favorite artist. I think the Magikarp is my favorite card from the Scarlet and Violet era because I like that artwork, that abstracty, black, rainbowy, Shinji Kanda only can do kind of artwork. It's crazy, crazy stuff. All right, so, and then from Paldea Evolved, I just want to highlight one little guy that recently just had some crazy gains. We're looking at the Merill illustration rare. On February 2nd of this year, it was sitting at about $7.02. So it wasn't a cheap illustration rare, but it wasn't crazy. $7.02 seems like a fairly normal price. Now it's moved up to $31.67, or it's gone up $24.65 since then, which is a 351% gain. 351% gain. If you were to buy yourself, you know, it would cost you $700 to buy 100 of these. $700. You buy 100 of these, and you're up you'd be up $2,400. $2,400 on one little illustration rare. I wouldn't go buy 700 of them, but maybe grabbing 10 of them or something like that for $70. Not bad, not bad. But I paid $13.25 for this card on November 13th of this year. So my gain's only 139%, you know, but if you bought it earlier in the year, your gain would be 351%. Unreal, that Merill, man. It's just, where's it going to stop? Is it going to catch up to the big illustration rares? Hit 50, 60 like the Groudon or something? Who knows? All right, with Obsidian Flames, I only want to look at one card in here, and it's, to me, this is the most underrated card. It has been the most underrated card for the longest time. It's finally it's finally getting its shine, and this is the Ninetales. On January 1st, was sitting about $6.34. It's currently sitting at $19.72, which I think is still a good deal for this card. So it's up $13.38 on the year, or 211%. It's up 211%. I paid $8.95 for it in June of this year, June 13th. So I'm up 120% on that. You know, so like I said, to me, this is the best card from Obsidian Flames. It is like a top 10, maybe top 5 illustration rare from Scarlet and Violet era. Love the Ninetales. I love the artwork on this. I like just the way Ninetales is glowing. If you don't have this one in your collection, just go pick it up. You can get it for under $20. Maybe you can find somebody even cheaper than that, but just go pick it up. I do want to talk about, not from the main set, but the Charmander Pokemon Center stamped promo. This card hit a low on April 9th of 2024 of about $18.35. Now it's sitting at $113.69. It's over $100 this card now. The actual sealed ETB is like, I don't know what it is. I think it's up in like 200, well over $200. Yeah, you know, it's up there almost with the 151 Pokemon Center ETB sealed. So now, you know, so it's up $95.34. $95.34 from April, or 520%. 520% on one Pokemon Center stamp promo. I paid $65 for this card on November 8th, 2024. So I'm up 75%. I do think this card will continue to climb. I think it's going to continue to climb and probably become the most expensive Pokemon Center stamped promo. I know Eevee from the upcoming Prismatic Evolutions is probably going to do very well. I don't think it's going to come out being more expensive than this, the Charmander, but who knows? It could. It very well could. We don't know, but I think that's going to be a contender for one of the top most expensive Pokemon Center stamp promos from this era. I do think the Eevee is going to contend with Snorlax and Charmander. I'm pretty sure. All right, let's move on to 151. 151 had a lot of movement, a lot of cards. It would take too long to go over all of them, so we're just going to go over the Sunzard. You know, Sunzard, this one, again, it dropped until about April 2nd. Got all the way down to 102.62. I seen sales for like in the high 90s at that time for sure, but 102.62 on April 2nd. Now it's in that 201.31. It recently did climb up over like 225, something like that, but sitting at 201.31, so about a $98.69 gain, or 96% on the year. I paid $120.35 for a PSA 9 on September 9th, so my gain is about 67% on the Sunzard. Okay, so from the 151, let us talk about the Snorlax 151 promo. On January 1st, it was sitting at about $31.05. Now it's at $127.40. It's almost $130. Crazy. That's up $96.35, or about 310%. I paid $94.57, so I did pay quite a bit for it on November 7th of 2024. So I'm up only about 35% on that card, but it's going to continue to go up. The Pokemon Center sealed PC ETB is just going nuts. I think it's at $270. It's gonna be a $300 box soon. That's just gonna keep bringing the Snorlax, the raw card, up with it. That's insane, insane. All right, let's move on to Paradox Rift. We're looking at the Groudon right now. On January 1st, it was sitting about $23.79. It's currently at $64.44, which is about $40.65 gain, or 171% profit. I paid $35.97 for a copy of this on May 7th, so I'm up 79%. This card just recently, I think it was during the TCG Player Black Friday thing, it flirted with the $70 price range, but the market kind of like squashed that and said, no, it's a $60 to $65 card. I think it could hit 70 again, but it's going to take a minute. Maybe next, the tax season coming up soon, maybe we'll see some more gains on that. But I don't know if it'll hold as the second most expensive illustration rare in this era, because there's a lot of competition there. You got the Tyranitar from, I think that one's from Paldea Evolved. And I'm sure there's more stuff upcoming. I mean, there is a Latios, that one from Surging Sparks could climb and be crazy. The Ghastly from Temporal Forces is hitting like $33 right now. There's a lot of competition to become the second. Nobody's gonna pass Magikarp, but to be the second expensive illustration rare from Scarlet and Violet, there's a lot of competition. All right, so the last card I want to talk about is the most iconic, biggest heavy hitter special illustration rare from the Scarlet and Violet era, and that's the Bubble Mew. I know it's not the most expensive. I know that. I do know that, but the Bubble Mew, Paldean Fates came out, I think in January. So Bubble Mew hit its low on March 12th, the low of $75.20. It's now sitting at $268.20, or it's up $193, which is a 257% gain. I paid $97.99 for a PSA 9. Oh, right here. PSA 9. I have it in the office because there was scratches on the PSA case, and I use like the Maguire's, so you can't feel the scratches no more, and they're definitely a lot smaller. But anyway, that card right there paid $97.99 on September 17th of 2024. So my gain on that is 174%. After the Black Friday sale, that card did go over 300. It did hit 300, but now it's kind of settled back down on the 270. I feel it's going to hang out there for a while. I don't think it's going to drop too much more. I don't think it's going to get big gains, but I think during the tax season coming up, April, March, that's when I think it's going to just shoot up. Bubble Mew is going to probably be competing with the Pikachus and the Greninjas for a long time. It's a most iconic, awesome card. But it was a new artist, USG Men, USGMEN. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that artist won the Pokemon contest, won the contest, and their first card, the Bubble Mew, comes out the gates just on fire. I mean, I know it was only like it did get down to $75, but now it is unreal. It's crazy, and I think it was I don't know why it was underrated, underpriced, undervalued for a long time, but I think it was like just people asking for it, looking for it, buying a bunch of it, kind of started getting so much buzz around it, and now it's just a very expensive card. It's basically a $300 card, and it's going to go back over 300, not right now, but maybe in the next few months. So anyway, so that's the last card I wanted to talk about. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have what other cards you got that you picked up good prices and have like some massive gains. But we did that with so many cards this year. It was crazy. Buy a card and all of a sudden it's up 60, 70, 80% in a week or two. It was this market it's nuts. It's insane. There's nothing else that you can get into with those kind of gains overnight. But you can also get some losses too if you buy at the high, and then it settles back down. But all right, man, everybody have a good holiday season here, and have fun. Family first, man. All that good stuff, and I hope you guys get all the Pokemon cards you want this holiday season, or you're getting your kids all the coolest products that they want. I hope you were able to find some of that stuff, because it is kind of getting hard to source some of this stuff. It's The market's insane with a bull market like that. It's to be expected. All right, man, that is the end of my video. I will see you on the next one. Have a safe holiday.